Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll be doing my North Melbourne vs Carlton game review from the Friday, I guess, mid-afternoon game. And yeah, there wasn't a late game on Saturday for some reason. The only time that they could have a full game week of no double-ups, and they've decided to have a double-up on this Saturday night. So that kind of sucks, but moving on. And yeah, before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. And yeah, let's get into the content. So if I go over here, you can see what I've done again. And yeah, we'll just go through North Melbourne and move on. So SHEEZEL, again, another standout, a huge... He had 50 in the last quarter. That's how huge he was. He had a behind as well, so he could have kicked a goal here to make it even more impressive. But yeah, he just has to almost be a VC option now, averaging one... Is he averaging 118? Is he really averaging 118? He is averaging 118. That is surprising. Oh, because he had a 127. That's how he got it. So yeah, he's averaging 118, and it's huge. And yeah, he just has to almost be a VC option next week. I mean, who do they play next week? They play the Brisbane Lions, so yeah, he'll play the exact same role as Daicos. They didn't really put any time into Daicos, so I think SHEEZEL will do well again, as well as Daicos. Then you got SHEEZEL here, and I'm saying that because they beat him without doing anything to Daicos, so why should they have to put in any time to SHEEZEL, is basically the theory behind that. And then I'm really annoyed that I decided to go for the likes of and didn't go for the SHEEZEL trade. If I'd gone for the SHEEZEL trade, this would have almost been a perfect round. And all my only two mistakes so far are the not putting VC on Daicos and not going for the SHEEZEL trade, and that would have probably rocketed me up the rankings quite a lot. So yeah, SHEEZEL put up 100. I wasn't quite certain on him, and he did fall away quite dramatically in the second half, a 65-35 split. But yeah, he just did what he needed to do. He's going to go up to 700k, and yeah. So it's all right, but it's quite disappointing, I guess. Then you have Jai Simpkin here, did all right, but nothing special. David Juniak had a mid game, I guess. So he's one that I thought about bringing in, and I think they play Brisbane next week. He probably gets some attention from Dunkley or someone else, so maybe not bringing him in is the better option. Then you got Curtis Taylor here, somehow got 65 in the first half because he had what? Did he not kick a goal? I swear he kicked a goal. Wow. He doesn't look like he kicked a goal. Goldstein did all right in the ruck against the sort of Tom de Koning, and did they have anyone else? And Pitnet combination. Then you have Zerha here, who had a really good second half. Looked really dangerous sometimes, but you know, just not consistent. McDonald here just had a really good second, and aside from that, would have averaged probably 60. And then you got Darcy Tucker here, who had a really good first half and then sort of fell away in the second. Same thing, I think, with Shields. Yeah, just a really good second quarter for Shields and then fell away again. And then Stevenson, not really good until the last quarter where he kicked a goal. Phillips here, really good break even, beating his break even, but yeah, no, not really the best, but he'll go up outside of a price range that we can really try and get him at. And I don't like his job security, so good thing if you jumped on him already, but yeah. I'm really looking for, I guess, we're looking for another couple of 200k rookies at this point to really up the scoring. And then no one else here really did anything well. Tom Powell's not looking like a good pick, so, I mean, he was a better pick than the likes of Tanner Bruin, but not much better. And then anyone who jumped on, I think it was Aiden Court, is really struggling now, as his average just went through the floor. And then anyone else here, Larky didn't look like his usual self, and Cunnington got subbed out, so that was pretty bad for my draft league, but I'm pretty sure I should still win that round. And then you have over here, Harry Mackay somehow put up a 70-point second half, And yeah, he ended up a 119. And he just dominated in the air. I think he ended up with like 16 marks or something like that. If we go over here, Mackay, he ended up with 14 marks, 15 kicks, 4 goals, 1. Huge all round, and yeah, that's why he dominated. Curnow kicked 6 and still scored less than Mackay, just showing how many marks Mackay got. He really drifted up the ground quite well, did Mackay. Then you have McGovern here, 93. And yeah, he just sort of, he takes away a little bit from Doherty at the moment, but I guess Doherty is having to play that midfield role, that extra mid, because there isn't really anyone else that they want. And when we see Walsh and Akers come back, I think, with Akers coming back this week after suspension, won't get that. I saw him on the wing a couple times. I saw him in the midfield, obviously, and he came off the back of the square quite a lot, which is what we want to see from him. But yeah, he just didn't get the score that we wanted. Doherty here, he was really unlucky. He did drop a mark, and that would have been +6. That would have got him up to 80. He had a couple of tackles that were just missed, I guess. Just the player got a legal disposal away, which meant that he probably, even though it's a bad game, could have easily scored here. And he decided to not kick it out of the square, like not run out of the square like 3 or 4 times as well. So that probably amounted to him dropping from almost 100 game down to the equivalent of a 74. That's how much points he dropped, quite considerably, and this was a really bad game for him. So for him to be sitting at 74, I'm obviously disappointed that I put the VC on him, but seeing how even in a bad game he could easily score 100, it's not too bad, and he's still averaging 100 or 99.3 and he's not having the best season. So when he picks it up into gear, when the other Carlton guys come back, I think you'll see him pick it up. And, any type of injury to McGovern, which I think we almost saw, like he could come up sore with a hamstring, means that Doherty's going to go back into the back line, and we'll see people, we'll see Akers come in, etc. And that should really help out his scoring. So then you have Cripper here, 92, just not been the season for him. Young started off really well, got up to 52 in the space of 20 minutes. So there was 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, and he was on 52 and really slowed down. And then Sard here, another decent game from him. Wiedering, another alright game from him as well. And then Nick Newman as well as a guy that I wanted to probably see him score 100 to think about jumping on him, but I don't think with that average and that score that I can. Silvani here, 83. Don't know how he got up to that, to be honest. Didn't look that impactful. I guess he did score really well in this patch here. He got 14 pretty quickly here, and then got another. He ended up with 34 in the last here, and then 30 here as well. Fisher, I always get Fisher and Lockie Cowan confused until he boots it on his left foot. And yeah, he had a pretty good game. I wish that was sort of Cowan's role, because Cowan only made 42, and if he made 78, I think it would have made a much bigger difference between Wilmot and Cowan, as Cowan just doesn't have the scoring potential at all. Yeah. And then you got, obviously talked about Doherty. Pitnet is there. Shearer had a really bad game. Just really bad outside of the second quarter. He only scored, 29 outside of that. Then you got Curnow, Motlop, Durden, DeConin, O'Brien. Ollie Hollands, again, a decent score. 12 break even, 54 score. So should go up another 30 or so K. Might even get up to 400K. And that's almost at the point where we can trade him out. But I probably need him as cover for another week until some players play, etc. And I can get more players off the bench. And then, I guess, more money off the bench onto field and get better players. Get more 700, 800K players. And then Callum we talked about, and Carroll, just a sub and didn't do much. So I don't know if this Mitch McGovern is a worry now that he did get subbed out. But we'll have to wait and see with that, and that could really help out Doherty. I'm hoping it does, because Doherty didn't have the best performance and sort of makes me have to rely on my VC, my captain now. So if I go back to the main screen, that's the review there and then, and I'll see you guys in another review sometime soon. Thanks guys, goodbye.